We have a situation. An employee reported that their bag was stolen from the bike room in the Meraki San Francisco office. We need to figure out who took it. Now, I'm looking at the Meraki Vision portal right now, and I got distracted by our Bay Bridge camera, but we need to find the bike room cameras. We have tags on all of them, so I can just come down here to the search bar and type bike room. And now my list view only has cameras in the bike room. I'll go ahead and select one so we can start watching some video. Now, the employees said they forgot their bag sometime between 3 and 4 p.m. on November 1st. They set it somewhere on a shelf on the south wall, and then when they got back the next morning, it was already gone. Let's start with the south wall part of that. So we have this handy map view up here in the upper left-hand corner. I'll zoom in on that. And now we can visualize where our cameras are pointed. If you hover over one, it gives you a preview of what that camera frame looks like. Same thing with the list view on the left-hand side. And that's really valuable because we don't just have to go off of the name of the camera or start a live feed to figure out what it's pointed at. So this is the south wall right here. And this camera is mounted to the south wall. I can tell that's not a great view. Let's try this camera here on the west wall. And there we go. So yeah, I think this is the shelf they're talking about on the south wall. Now, they didn't give me a specific timestamp. They just said between 3 and 4. I could just pick a time and fast forward until I find it. But since these are Meraki cameras, we have a much faster way to do that. Check it out. I'm going to use an event search to filter our video. So I'll come over here to the left-hand side and select event search. And then I just need to put in a date and timestamp. So it was November 1st. And the start time would be 3 p.m. and our end time will be 4 p.m. Then I'll hit confirm. And then we just need to select our cameras. So I'll type in bike room to filter this down, and I'll scroll until I find that camera frame we just had. There it is. I'll check the box next to that. And then we can select a region of interest. Check this out. We can narrow our search by selecting a specific part of the frame that we want to search for motion. So we know they put the bag on the shelf, so I'll just select the shelf and then select update, and it returns 4 events. So in each one of these, we have a motion recap image. And essentially what this does is it summarizes an entire event with one still image. A lot of times you don't even need to watch the video to figure out what happened. So I can clearly see a person walks through in each of these. It doesn't look like these first 3 interact with the shelf at all, but this one has something different on the shelf, and it looks like the employee was carrying something. So let's watch that one back. I'll select it, and it immediately starts playing back the event for me. And yeah, he does set down a bag. What's that say? Box lunch? If he left his food overnight, I highly doubt he'll want it now. Maybe there's a priceless glass egg in there. Who knows? Okay, and then he walks off with his bike. So we found the event. We found the moment that he left the bag. Now we need to figure out who took it. I'm going to use another event search for that. So I'll close out of this window. And that was at 3:37 p.m. And I'll come back over here to our date and time picker. Let's just start at 3:40 p.m. and go through like 10 a.m. the next day. That should capture most of the morning. So I'll select confirm. And now we have quite a few events to look through, but as I scroll through here, I can see that the bag was still there before 9 a.m. And then at 9:19 a.m. it wasn't. And it looks like this guy's holding it. So let me select this one and we'll watch this back. So it starts to play back the event. This guy walks in with a box, sets it down. Actually, I recognize him. I think he's on the facilities team. So he looks at the bag, he looks around. Looks like he picks up the bag, seems confused as to why it's there, and then shakes his head and then walks off. Okay. Then he turns the corner, so we lose him. We need to figure out where he goes. Now that we have the timestamp, which is about 9:20, we can go to the video wall and we can watch this play back on multiple camera angles at once. So I'll close this window, and then I'll come over here to the video walls button on the left-hand side, choose bike room, and now we're looking at all of the cameras in the bike room. Now I just need to put in our timestamp. So I'll select the date and time picker down here in the bottom left, and I'll type in November 2nd at 9:20 a.m., hit enter. And now we're watching this back on all of the bike room cameras at once. So he turns the corner. He shows up on a few of our other cameras here. And he sets the bag down on a different shelf. Okay, so he just relocated it. He didn't steal it. Less exciting than I was hoping, but we figured it out nonetheless. I do want to export this video though, so let me show you how to do that. I'll come up here to the upper right hand corner and select export. And then we just need to set our start and end times. Now, I could type those in manually if I want to, but I can also come down here to the bottom left, click Move Selected Range here. And then now I have this little blue rectangle that I can set the start and end time with very easily. So I'll just set that, I think it was like 9:19 a.m. And then it ended around 9:20. 9:21 will capture it. And then I just need to add the cameras I want to export from. I can export from as many of these as I want, but I think we just need this angle and then this one. So we'll get both shelves. We could give them file names if we want to. I'm not going to. And then I'll just select export all. And then it's going to go ahead and start exporting that video. Pretty soon I will have an MP4 file that I can download that I can play back on whatever I want. One more thing you can do though, if you come over here to the exports page on the left hand side, you can check the boxes next to as many videos as you want, select combine exports, and then you'll have a single MP4 file that you can play back on whatever you want. And it's super flexible. You can combine as many videos as you want. You can play with the start and end times and customize it to your liking. So that's it. Notice we didn't have to search through hours of video to figure out what happened. We were able to watch the incident play back on multiple angles at once with the video wall, and we were able to export the incident as an MP4 file that we can play on whatever we want. So I have everything I need, and we're done with our investigation in a matter of minutes. Anyways, I'm going to go let our friend know where their bag is. I'll see you later.